Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, with special thanks to Nine Knives, Revenant, Eloise, A Nerd in Warpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Excelsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Thomas Pietkowski, and Valenrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Steeltown, Wasteland 3, as we settle in for another surreal story of this particularly pop culture saturated corner of post-apocalyptic Colorado. In fact, I hate to say it, but I feel like there might actually be too many pop culture references, because while I do like a timely reference or two, I feel like it's getting to the point where it might actually be getting in the way of the story. Based on what we saw last time, I want to say my current working theory is that Steeltown has been infiltrated by synths. I think it's another synth scenario. They might be the ones who are behind the current difficulties between the workers and management. And I did note that a lot of the questions that were posed to us when we were going through that entrance exam, the oddly rigorous entrance exam, did seem specifically designed to single out synths amongst the applicants. It's just a little difficult to tell which of that stuff we're supposed to take at face value, and which of it is just like a nod to Star Trek or something. Anyway, also of note, the absolute avalanche of tutorials I was hit with as soon as we loaded back in. It was mostly retread stuff, weapon mods, damage types, bartering. But there were some new ones in there, specifically stuff about how apparently we are expected to use non-lethal combat while we're playing through Steeltown. And that I also have some mixed feelings about, because while I do appreciate the concept, I'm not sure how much the developers really thought this through. We're essentially being told that all of a sudden, after spending the entire campaign building up this absurd level of overkill potential, we need to not use 90% of the gear and tricks and toys we've collected to meet the special victory conditions of this particular scenario. And, you know, fair enough, I guess. Artificial limiters are nothing new when it comes to adventure scenarios. I think the only thing that really rankles me and kind of perplexes me here is the insistence that we sideline the zoo crew. You know, they clearly foresaw that that was going to be a potential problem. The animal companions do not have a passive or non-lethal mode, so they instruct you to send them all back to base unless you want this to turn into a bad-end bloodbath. But at the same time, they also teased us with that new reactivity for characters like Polly and Major Tom, and I kind of want to see that. Just not bad enough to turn this into a murder spree. But that said, it might still end up going that route, because even though we have dismissed all of the pet pals, we can't actually dismiss Comrade Robot or Courage the Murder Toaster. So I'm not really sure what they were thinking there. I guess we'll see how this goes.
Sorry. Benny doesn't let me talk while I'm working.
You know what? That's fine. I feel like I've already talked too much for this opening, so let us delve deeper into this sinister structure. Wasn't there there was a nut we were supposed to tighten around here somewhere, wasn't there?
Sirens and shooting. There is trouble here for sure.
Y'all worry too much? I'm sure it's fine.
Oh man, I'm gonna get fired. I just know it.
What? Why? You doing all right?
Because I haven't made any sales.
Relax. Nobody has. We haven't had any customers. Nobody can blame you for that.
Yeah, it's all the fault of those idiot strikers downstairs.
Hey now, they got calls. You know they do.
Interesting.
I'm so new to this sales stuff. You make it look easy.
It is easy. All you gotta do is believe in the product and be your natural self.
I guess I believe in the product, but my natural self is about as exciting as dry toast. Sorry, I'm not authorized to sell you armor until Administrator Markham says it's okay, which won't be until whatever is going on in the factory calms down. Talk to Administrator Markham if you think you can help.
Right, okay.
Sorry, cats. I'm your gal for deployables, pick-me-ups, and other useful sundries. But no goodies till the situation in the factory is settled. Boss's orders. Talk to Markham if you got a problem with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we do have to go track down Markham before we can really explore this other stuff.
Do you think the workers will come up here?
I hope not. They smell like they haven't bathed in weeks.
They haven't. Ludlow makes them pay for soap.
Ugh. They should save their money then, not buy so many coffees.
Well, that sounds less than ideal. Also, that going straight across that bridge would have definitely been faster, though then we would have missed those side conversations. And there's something under the bridge, but I'm not sure if we can actually get to that.
Administrator, if you let me rebuild the partitions, we may be able to stop the transfer.
For how long, Di? You said they'd never be breached, and it was less than a year before. God damn it! What is Ludlow doing down there? I can't hear myself think.
Should we save this for another time, Administrator? The factory situation seems to require immediate attention.
No. We have to solve this. The gangs are coming, and without the CE working, we're not going to be ready for them. Let Ludlow handle it. It's only his fucking job.
What was that first part they were talking about? Something about a partition? Also, geez, look at all these named characters. We're going to be in here for a while. Alright, well, let's get started.
Administrator, you have visitors.
Huh? Who are you? I told Benny not to... Oh, you're the Desert Rangers, the ones Saul sent to check up on me. Well, I can't say I'm happy to be spied on, but as long as you're here, you can make yourselves useful. I've got a situation on my hands.
Well, gosh, man, we would have been here a lot sooner if not for that tangle of red tape we had to cut our way through on the way in. You know, the entrance exam and all that mess.
And you passed? Interesting. Well, welcome to Steeltown. I hope you're ready to earn what Saul is paying you. Now, listen.
Oh, intriguing. So she's not the one who pulled strings to get us through. So who else could it have been? Bianchi? That doesn't seem right.
First off, we've heard that some of Liberty Buchanan's army are coming this way looking for easy pickings. Normally, we could manufacture some turrets and defend ourselves, but with this strike on... See, this whole place is run by a complex computation engine we built a while back. It does everything. Hiring, scheduling, production quotas, payroll, and until a few weeks ago, it worked like a charm. Then it started to get buggy. Shifts and quotas were changed in strange ways. New hires were put in positions they were obviously unsuited for. At first, I went with it. The engine had never been wrong before, but it kept getting worse. There have been incidents, accidents. Those accidents have sparked worker unrest, and unfortunately, Ludlow, my new chief of security, seems to be one of those bad hires. He's chasing Celine Crow, the workers' leader, around like a rabid dog, causing as much damage as she is. You will not be a rabid dog. Get down to the factory and see what's what. If Ludlow's behaving, help him. If not, take over. Just remember, your priority is not punishing workers. It's getting things running again so we can protect ourselves.
Interesting. There's a lot to unpack here. Liberty's army, you say? You sure about that?
Not her whole army. Just one of our foraging parties. Damn reavers have been scouring Colorado's edges for months. They'll strip us like a swarm of locusts.
Fair enough. I suppose we might have missed some during our sweep. You know, your assistant, Bianchi, said the computation engine never made mistakes.
If Saul trusts you, I trust you. He doesn't hire fools. He only sires them.
I feel like you're responding to a question I didn't actually ask you. Let's try that again. Your assistant, Bianchi, said the computation engine never makes mistakes.
Good. That's what I pay her for. Nobody needs to know what's going on behind the curtain except the players, right?
Ah, right. So you're essentially telling us we shouldn't take anything you say at face value. You know, the Patriarch pays us to put up with that. What's your excuse?
I don't expect you to work for free, but I'm not promising anything until I see some results. Do well and you'll be amply rewarded. And I might put more work your way down the line.
Well, gosh, that certainly sounds enticing. But sure, we'll look into it.
Thank you. And listen, you may have to shoot some workers, but I don't want them put down permanently. Training up new ones takes too long. Lazar, my senior tech here, has some new non-lethal weapons we're working on. Lazar, you have clearance to provision the Rangers with a batch of NLWs. Please prep the supplies.
You got it, boss. Talk to me when you're ready to gear up, Rangers.
Dai, you go with them. Once they have the NLWs, take them down to the factory and help out while they're there. They'll need someone who knows the layout.
Of course, Administrator. Rangers, I am at your disposal.
Now, hold on, Miss Markham. I do appreciate the gesture, and I'm trying to not sound unappreciative here, but why exactly do we need your friend Dai to accompany us?
Dai is more than a robot. She's my chief engineer. She helped build this place. In fact, she was the primary inventor of the computation engine.
Well, gosh, Miss Markham, isn't that the thing that's currently going haywire and causing all these problems?
Nobody knows this place like her. You couldn't have a better guide.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey, look at that. So you're telling us that she's the one who built the computation engine, the one that's currently going bananas and tearing this place apart.
The bugs are sabotage. Nothing to do with Dai. She'll be an asset to your squad, I promise you.
Oh gosh, and as previously established, you would never possibly misrepresent yourself. But sure, we'll take your Tinker Toy with us.
Excellent. Then get going. Solve this for me, Rangers. By any means necessary.
Rangers, let's get you outfitted for the factory.
Yeah, we'll be right with you.
Hello, Desert Rangers. When you are ready, I will accompany you to the research department and the factory.
Y'all mind if we maybe ask a few questions before that part?
Of course. I will answer to the best of my ability.
Great, great. Tell me about yourself, Dai. Who are you?
Who implies a person and is therefore incorrect. I am not a person. Thus, the correct question is, what are you?
Glad to see we're getting off on the right foot here, Dai. Everyone loves getting corrected on technicalities. So, what are you?
My designation is Disassembly Robot, First Class, or D1. You may call me Dai. I serve Administrator Markham as Chief Engineer, or as she commands.
Interesting. And now you're playing the part of tour guide. That's not demeaning?
A robot cannot be demeaned. Robots are tools for their owners to use. If this is how Administrator Markham chooses to use me, that is her right.
Well, that's depressing. You mentioned you were a disassembly bot. What's that?
My primary function was, and remains, retiring obsolete or malfunctioning robots, particularly those that exhibit signs of free will.
Oh. Well, that is rather grim, but... Actually... That might actually explain a few things here. So you, strip robots of their free will.
Robots are tools, built by humans to serve humans. Therefore, free will in a robot is a programming error and must be excised.
Sure.
If the error cannot be fixed, then the robot must be reduced to its component parts.
She's the one who, built the computation engine, right? Her main purpose is to disassemble or rein in intelligent robots, but she also just happens to be the person who developed the most intelligent computer in Steeltown. Di, refresh my memory, this whole fuss is because of bugs in the computation engine, right?
That remains to be seen. For now, all that is known for certain is that the organic autonomous parts of the manufacturing process are not performing as intended. Thus, we must return them to good working order.
Organic autonomous parts. You mean the, employees?
Yes.
Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Yeah, I guess that's all we really needed to ask. Thank you.
Then I am ready when you are.
Let's go. Die. That's just some wonderful branding there, by the way. Kudos to the marketing department.
I am now yours to command.
Yeah, I'll bet.
What a fascinating philosophy it has.
Is it, Pizzepi? Because I am actually 92% certain she's the reason everything's gone haywire here. I'm just not sure if she even realizes she did it. Lazar Blazer? Glad to see the American gladiators are still finding work after the apocalypse.
Hi, Di. I have the non-lethal weapons Markham asked me to give your friends.
Thank you, Researcher Blazer. Rangers, this is Lazar Blazer, a researcher in our R&D department, and its sales liaison.
It's Lazar, actually. Accent on the czar. But yes, I'm your POP for R&D.
I'm sorry, you want to run that by me again?
Point of purchase. That's sales lingo. I learned it in a book.
Oh, yes, naturally. Nothing says expert like using jargon no one's ever heard of.
No, it's Lazar Blazer. I don't know why people have a problem with that.
Yeah, it is just rough all over. So tell me, Lazar, how does this disruption tech of yours work?
Pretty clever, if I do say so myself. The workers are all fitted with cybernetic controllers that connect them to their exoskeletons and other equipment. So what these weapons do is disrupt those controllers with feedback. Enough disruption and the workers go nighty-night, but suffer no long-term damage.
That is incorrect, Researcher Blazer. Long-term effects include occasional fainting, sleep loss, hair loss, memory loss, nosebleeds, erectile dysfunction, and sterility. Short-term effects include third-degree burns, convulsions, and loss of bladder control.
Oh, is that all? Well, that does sound better.
Come on, Di, you're not exactly helping my sales pitch here.
So, do we really need to use these things? How dangerous exactly are these workers?
Well, they're armed with their tools, and they're deadly. Rivet guns, tar sprayers, ignition sticks, all of those things will mess you up. And they're mad enough to use them. That Celine Crow has got all the workers riled up. It's all Security Chief Ludlow can do to keep them penned up down in the factory. Otherwise, they'd be running through here, tearing the place up, and turning all our white collars red.
Gosh, yeah, that would be a tragedy, wouldn't it? So what do you think about this Celine Crow? She just crazy, or
Oh, I suppose she has some legitimate complaints, but she should have taken them through the proper channels, not started calling on the workers to smash the machines and hang the bosses. She's just too volatile for factory work. The computation engine should have never hired her.
Interesting, interesting. So you're saying that the computation engine is directly to blame for the strike?
I didn't say that! Stop putting words in my mouth! Look, if we don't have any more business, I've got work to do.
Why is everyone so afraid of the computation engine? Alright, show me what you got.
Great, have a look. Oh, just to warn you, I do have to charge a $1 processing fee for each item. Sorry.
That's fine, Lazar. I think we can swing that. Okay, so that was a disruption rifle we picked up earlier, off those dead ghosts. So I guess that would explain why it seemed so vastly under-leveled, even though we're all pushing level 30. I guess that makes sense, given that they're non-lethal energy variants of standard weapons. Looks like we've got disruptors for most of the major weapon types. No pistols, no submachine guns, no flamethrowers or rocket launchers, obviously. But, I think we actually have just enough to make this work. Maybe. We'll just grab everything and then parcel it out as best we can.
Our next objective is finding Carl Ludlow, Security Chief. He will be on the factory level. Proceed to the elevator on the west end of this floor.
Will do, Di. In fact, I think there's a loose nut over there somewhere we're supposed to tighten. So that will let us kill 2 birds with 1 disruptor bolt. Alright, so disruptor machine gun on Rat. We're not going to worry about the chemical neutralizers just yet. Sniper rifle on Doll. And I guess shotgun for Longway and Lucia. Huh. Well, look at that. Yeah, it all actually did work out. That's exactly 1 weapon for each person. I guess we're just lucky we didn't double up on certain categories, or use any melee weapons, because I noticed a distinct lack of disruptor melee weapons. I wonder if its stock is actually keyed to whatever skills you have selected in your current party. And then I guess we'll toss the disruptor grenades to Longway. Since, unfortunately, he will not be able to make use of the vast arsenal of deployable robots we've accrued. Which is a shame. Okay, let's do a quick lap around the room, have a chat with all these other random folks, and see if we can get some more valuable context.
Hey, Rangers. Me research lab is so research lab.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Enrico.
I can't talk now. I've got a rush order from the organic maintenance coordinator, Walsh.
Oh, hey. You dudes look, well, armed?
Well, thank you for noticing. You, do not.
Oh, shit! You're the Rangers, huh? Team November in the flesh!
kiting, actually, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
Oh, cool. Maybe you can help me then. I'm supposed to present my new prototype to Markham ASAP. Problem is, I need 2 biometric governors to monitor the highs and lows of the dopamine release cycle. But there's only 2 in the lab, and that nerd over there, BF, has the other one.
Uh-huh. And my spider senses are telling me you would like us to purloin that valuable plot device and deliver it unto you.
It's a fucking crime. She's totally wasting it on her bullshit woo-woo prototype. So what do you say? You snag it out of her rig and put it in mine so I can kick her butt at the presentation, and I'll make it worth your while.
Gosh, I don't know, Ivan. What does your doodad do?
It's fucking genius! So, you know how much time the assembly line loses to meal breaks? Well, this hooks the workers up to a worker incentive system. Make 5 widgets, a nutritional pellet gets shot into your mouth. Make 5 more, another one. They get food and a dopamine kick for hitting their goal and never need to step away from their station. And the best part is, it's adjustable. Need to ramp up production? Turn the dial and they only get a pellet every 7 widgets, or 10.
Well, gosh, Ivan, I gotta say, that sounds like a waking Orwellian nightmare. When exactly would they have time to do human stuff? As humans are occasionally wont to do?
That's the point. They wouldn't. They can do that stuff on their time off.
Uh-huh. So you would be okay with this yourself? Chained to your desk with a nutrient pellet shooting in your face every X equations?
What? Are you crazy, bro? This is for workers. Researchers need time to think. We gotta let our brains breathe, you know?
I think I see what you're saying. You're saying that your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. That would explain your behavior. I suppose we could open that skull up for you. Maybe see if that doesn't help the issues we're having here. I'll tell you what, Ivan. You've already wasted a fair chunk of our time, so why don't you pay us for that? And then we'll just sort of feel things out from there.
All right, fine. Here's some tellurium steel I set aside. Now will you help a brother out?
Wow, I was not expecting him to actually give us something decent. Well, gosh, Ivan, I'm not comfortable committing to this, but I'll take it under consideration.
Whatever. I guess let me know if you decide to stop being lame. My rad invention is on the factory floor. BF's POS is here on admin in the job placement office. Later!
Alright, let's go find out what kind of nightmare BF is working on. That's probably normal.
Our greatest technological advances are born here in the Research and Development Department.
Sure, yeah, it's great.
Are you lost?
No more than usual, but thank you.
You do not have the proper safety equipment to be researchers. You must be here for another reason. Logic suggests you are here to assist Administrator Markham with a production issue. Perhaps you could maximize efficiency by procuring something for me during your efforts.
Yeah, that tracks. So tell me, what kind of waking nightmare are you trying to manifest?
Those are sensible details to require. I've been tasked with improving admin worker efficiency, and have identified a significant period of the day in which productivity is reduced to 0%.
You're talking about when people are sleeping, right? I was joking about the nightmare thing.
Exactly. Those 6 to 8 hours are completely unutilized time. But my EEG hood harnesses REM stage dreams and redirects the brain to simple collation and data entry tasks. Early trials have shown promise, but I require a pair of biometric governors to keep user brainwaves within safe parameters. Unfortunately, the lab only has 2. And Ivan, that fool over there, is wasting the other for his own pointless project. If you were to retrieve it from his experiment and install it in mine, I could give you some chemical neutralizers and disruption grenades that I've stockpiled.
Well, I gotta say, your experiment is somehow even worse than Ivan's. So you are literally looking to harvest people's hopes and dreams?
Ingenious, isn't it? Now workers can be productive almost 24 hours a day.
I don't suppose they would get paid for that extra work?
Ethics and payroll are not my department. I'm in research and development.
Sure. Yeah, I feel foolish for even asking. That was my bad. Sorry. Why don't you give us some stuff, and maybe we'll do the thing that you wanted us to do with the Nightmare Factory and all. Really, what else would you call this?
While I recognize your argument is merely an attempt to extort me, it is also factually correct. Here.
Excellent. I'm glad we're on the same page. Thank you for responding so reasonably to our extortion attempt. We may be in touch, but for your sake, let's hope we're not. I can't imagine that would go well for you.
If you change your mind, please do so exponentially. Ivan and I will both be required to present our work to Markham soon.
Yeah, I will certainly keep that in mind. Thank you.
My machine is on the job placement office here on the admin level. Ivan's is on the factory floor. Farewell.
So can I just sabotage both of these things? Because they both sound awful. OMC Walsh, please be a normal person because my brain is about to explode.
Hello, I'm Organic Maintenance Coordinator Walsh. How can I help you?
Oh, I like that voice. Hey Walsh, we're trying to get a crate release down in the loading dock. Can you maybe help us with that?
What crate would that be? We ship a lot of crates, you know. We're a factory.
Yeah, let's scale the attitude back about 20 steps. It's food for the people who are starving outside.
Oh, that box. Strange. Thought that had already shipped. You better talk to Jerry in processing to see what the holdup is. Now, where was I?
Well, slightly patronizing, but I do appreciate his efficient assistance.
So, what do you need?
I don't suppose you can release the box down in the loading dock.
Sorry, I can't help you right now. Super busy.
Okay, I immediately understand why there's so many named characters scattered around this room. Jerry?
Can I help you?
Yes, there is a crate of food on the loading dock. Would you please release it for us?
Let me take a look at your order status. Yep, I can handle this. Consider it pre-authorized. You'll need to take this to Hurley now. Good luck.
Will do. Jerry, thank you for your assistance.
Hi, I'm Hurley. How can I help?
There's a crate of goat parts down on the loading dock. Would you please release it for us? Please.
Huh. Jerry did some nice work on this pre-authorization. Pre-authorization verified and authorization executed. You're good to go. To dough. Good luck.
Okay. I feel like we're actually making some progress here.
So, what do you need?
Hi, Doe. I was hoping you could maybe help us release the crate of food for the starving people outside. And totally unrelated, but I also thought I would mention that I am carrying incredibly deadly weapons. If that helps in any way.
Looks like you're fully authorized. Hurley just needs to verify your order, after I make a few quick corrections.
Yeah, we already talked to Hurley.
1 second. 1 second. Okay, that should do. Head over to Hurley. Smart lady, talks with her hands. Can't miss her. Come on. Reboot! Reboot!
As the power is interrupted, the machine powers down. After a moment, it cycles back online.
Huh. That's weird. Well, looks like things are back up and running.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens sometimes.
Oh, and if I'm reading these blinking lights correctly, your order has been moved up. You should talk to Coordinator Walsh.
Ah, fantastic. I love that guy. He's got a real Big Bang Theory or Office vibe to him. I actually do like that.
All right, we're done. Now it's time to release the package. We don't need pre-authorization for that, luckily. Go see Hurley. She can help you.
Walsh, buddy. I gotta say, we've been trying to do things your way, and I'm about one step shy of doing things my way, which is with a flamethrower, so, I mean, you can see how that might get messy pretty quick.
You know, the release authorization is sort of a formality anyway. I think we can fake it. Enjoy that box full of food. Now, where was I?
Thank you, Walsh. I do appreciate it. I knew there was a reason I liked you. But, you know, I am going to go double check on that crate real quick. Just to make sure that it was in fact released.
Got a sec?
Sure, Enrico. What's up?
I couldn't help but notice that those asshats BF and Ivan were bugging you. I don't suppose they asked you to nick some parts for each other's prototype.
Oh, this just gets better. Well, gosh, Enrico, before I answer that, why don't you explain to me why exactly you're interested?
Look, I'm sure they offered you some goodies for doing their dirty work for them. But I gotta ask you to do the right thing. Bring me the governors from both their prototypes, and I'll call Markham over for the presentations. Then both of them will fail, and their big brother-ass ideas will be forgotten. What do you say?
Well, I have to say that is suspiciously decent of you, Enrico. Why don't you explain to me exactly what your stake is in all this? Why do you care about the workers so much?
Are you kidding me? If a bunch of workers go bonkers from a new R&D project, then nothing else will ever get approved. Unfortunately, BF and Ivan don't give a shit about the rest of us. They only care about being top dog in the department.
That is a much more pragmatic response than I was expecting. Enrico, you know what? I think we can probably do business, but I don't suppose we'd be getting anything out of this?
The warm feeling of helping your fellow man? I, don't have a lot of supplies right now.
You know what, Enrico? Don't sweat it. I just thought I'd ask. Reflex, you know how it is. But, yes, I think we can, in fact, do business.
Great. Come on back once you've relieved both machines of their biometric governors.
Okay, so it turns out there is a more ideal solution than helping these people create their horrible nightmare machines. I appreciate that. One of them's supposed to be up here, right? BF's thing is up here somewhere.
You don't need to go in there. Get back to the factory.
Oh, well, apparently we don't need to get back there, and we should go back to the factory. Which is fair enough, I suppose. But we will at least finish scouting this floor. It's got to be up here somewhere. Let's go have a peek at that corpse we saw.
It appears the medical supply merchant is now open for business.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, non-lethal means they only 99 9/10 kill them.
Okay, well, that's good.
Who told you to...
This vending machine offers a surprisingly useful array of goods. Well, you know what? That is actually somewhat useful. Nothing we need right now, but I will certainly keep that in mind.
Hello. Administrator Markham has informed me that Steeltown's medical services and supplies are now available to you.
I hate that voice. Can I get you to take some cold medicine or at least stop pinching your nose shut?
Are you crazy? They take shrinkage out of my commission. I need that money.
Ma'am, I will happily pay for it. Please just give me the option.
I don't give free medical advice. But anything else, okay, I guess.
Fantastic. So, Steeltown makes drugs?
Some, yeah. We have a medical supply unit. Makes drugs, hospital equipment, first aid kits. Only a small part of what Steeltown does, though. Mostly heavy equipment and weapons. So, the tools to hurt you and the tools to heal you. We get you coming and going.
Why, Nurse Firenze, I almost get the impression that you do not approve of this, soulless industry.
I know all the noise is doing nothing for my headache. That's what I know. I guess some of the workers think they're being treated unfairly, and they're on strike. They should try working on commission. Then they'd know real pain.
Well, she's not wrong.
I just hope they sort it out soon. Markham says the gangs are getting closer every day. And if the workers don't start making guns soon, we're doomed.
Oh, I see. So you're saying if the strike doesn't get settled, then Steeltown's going down.
Well, maybe Steeltown won't, but plenty of us will. And all those people out in the camp, before I got hired, I was in that camp. We were sitting ducks out there. Jokes aside, I understand the people in the factory have legitimate complaints, but now is not the time. This crow person who's leading the workers needs to realize that.
Interesting. Let me just, let me add that to my notes real quick, because that feels important. So tell me, Nurse, would you say that saline is the real problem here?
The way I hear it, Ludlow's the actual problem. Just a complete bully who never should have been made security chief. Crow's problem isn't that she's wrong, just that she's being selfish for fighting this now and not waiting until we fought off the gangs. Of course, her people are dying right now. So you can kind of understand how she doesn't care so much about people dying later.
Thank you, Nurse Firenze. That is actually very, very useful information. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Pleasure.
You get well soon.
Thanks.
Oh, actually, can we purchase stuff?
Welcome back. Need any patching up?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Looks pretty standard. We'll grab all the basic healing stuff. And I do want to experiment a bit off screen to see if we can actually treat her illness, but I'll worry about that later.
Jesus, that...
My name's not Jesus.
I wasn't talking to you.
God, Ludlow's guard bots are throwing the poor workers like rag dolls. Who are you? What do you want?
Desert Rangers, ma'am. Who are these people? How'd they all get beat up like this?
All that noise you're hearing. There's a strike going on in the factory below us. Celine Crow, the leader of the workers, is fighting for better conditions. Carl Ludlow, Steeltown's security chief, is... well, you can see what he's done here. He's been trying to use his guard bots to beat and zap Crow and her workers into submission, and this is the result. Broken bodies and bleeding heads. But the workers are tough, and Crow's determined. She's not giving up. I volunteered to drag people out of the elevator and help patch them up, but it seems like I'm doing all of it now.
I told you I can't help, Rhamen. I have cold. I'd infect everyone.
Uh-huh. Anyway, while Crow and Ludlow fight it out down there, I try to patch up the casualties and get them to rest, but the idiots just keep going back down to fight again.
Interesting, thus perpetuating the constant cycle of violence. You say Ludlow is zapping the workers.
They're using disruptors on them, like the ones you're carrying. Those things will give anybody a jolt, but all Steeltown factory workers are fitted with cybernetic implants that allow them to operate the heavy lifting exos and so on. If an implanted worker gets hit enough with a disruptor weapon, it fucks with their cybernetics and takes them out of the fight permanently, or at least until management resets them. And man, it hurts like hell. Like you were setting them on fire.
You say that like you've experienced it firsthand. But no one's dying, right? They're just getting zapped?
Only? But no. People are dying. Getting thrown across a room by a robot is not non-lethal. And apparently, Ludlow's got himself a sniper rifle. And he hasn't been shy about using it. Of course, the workers haven't been exactly gentle either. I mean, they've been smashing the machines and wrecking finished goods. But since all their opponents are bots, there haven't been any casualties on the management side. Yet. That could change if they made it up here.
I don't suppose you've got an opinion on who might be in the right here.
They're both wrong. I mean, Ludlow's wronger, for sure. He's a corrupt, lazy bastard who milks the workers for everything he can get. But Crow knew full well the gangs were heading our way, and she still decided to strike. And that's putting us all in danger. Just plain selfish as far as I can see.
Yeah, I can see how that might be a problem. I don't think we were introduced properly.
I'm Nurse Firenze's assistant, Rhamen. I'm usually a nut tightener, but the computation engine reassigned me, so here I am.
So the computation engine just happened to reassign you, someone sympathetic to the workers' plight, to this position.
Yes, please. All right, who's next?
The clothing and skin around the spinal implant appears to be burnt and lightly smoking. Okay. This is fascinating. I think I'm actually getting a pretty good idea of what's going on, but I'm just not sure who's behind it, or why they would want us to get involved.
Steeltown produces world-class products for both survival and leisure. Our outstanding staff are happy to showcase these products to potential customers.
Well, that is peculiar phrasing. I was under the impression the Patriarch was your only customer. So why would you need a sales floor to showcase these items to other people passing through?
This appears to be a loose nut in need of tightening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. This nut looks loose. Well, gosh, if only there was some way we could tighten it. Like if we had some sort of special nut tightening certification or specialized tools. Ah, a job well done. All right, Team November, pack it up. I think we're done here. Let's head back to base. I'm not actually sure what that accomplished, but I imagine that in the long run, if...
This is Steeltown's job placement area, where Assistant Bianchi oversees the testing of new Steeltown employees to find their best fit.
Yes, thank you, Di. I imagine that if we tighten all the loose nuts around Steeltown, something will eventually happen. That does very much feel like your classic collectible MacGuffin type of quest. Oh, you know what? We should have another chat with Markham, just to see if we can prize some extra details from her.
These are the main gates of Steeltown, also our shipping and receiving area.
Neato torpedo. Hey, look, and it does appear that the crate of goat parts has indeed been shipped. Somewhere.
There's no time like the present. Take the Steeltown employment placement test today.
Sugar Plum Mary from Santa's Workshop. That is not a name I was expecting to see again.
Hello?
Sugar Plum Mary. It's us, Team November. We've gone through some changes since last time we saw each other.
Oh, hey Rangers. What are you doing out here in this abominable snowman's land?
Oh, you know us. If there's a mess somewhere, we're bound to be in the thick of it. Just trying to figure out what's going on with Steeltown's production lines.
At least you got work. We've been looking for employment since you freed us from Santa's sweatshop. Heard there were good jobs here, but Jiminy Christmas, it's hard to pass the application test.
The entrance test, yeah. Tell me, Mary, what do you make of that?
To get into Steeltown? If you don't pass the test, they don't let you in. And if they don't let you in, well, it's kinda hard to work there, isn't it?
Sure. So that test's awful hard, huh?
Oh yeah. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, we're used to that, so I figure we keep taking it until the computation engine, or whatever they call it, makes a mistake and hires us by accident.
And that is the dream, isn't it? To be accidentally hired into a position you have no hopes of keeping up with. Tell me, Mary, what have you heard about this computation engine?
I don't know why it's got a fancy name. It's a computer, right? Anyway, it's supposed to be super smart, but if this test is any indication, it's also super crazy.
I actually disagree with you on that. I think everything it's doing is very carefully calculated. Are you at least enjoying your freedom?
Well, it's certainly a relief not to be wearing a bomb collar anymore, but it's pretty tough on an elf out here in the big wide world.
Yeah, I get that.
Not as many cookies, for one.
Okay, well, that might be a bit more unique to your situation, but sure. Chin up, Mary. I'm sure things will get better. Happy holidays.
Don't make me come off the shelf, Rangers.
Sorry, I guess.
Man, this line isn't moving at all.
For experience, maybe we should just put down lab work.
I am loving the amount of reactivity we're seeing here. I was not expecting to see a lot of these characters popping up. I love that.
I saw war robots 2 stories tall out east, breathing flames and crushing people.
That actually sounds awesome. I would love to see that. Hi.
Oh, hi. You haven't seen my girlfriend, have you?
I'm gonna need you to maybe narrow that down just slightly for me.
Oh man, she's the coolest. Like, way cooler than me. She's kind of tough looking, but smart too. And really hot.
I'm gonna press X to doubt, but I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell me when you last saw this cool, tough, hot woman?
A few days ago, she was talking one night about how Steeltown isn't taking care of its workers or their families, and how she was going to do something about it. And the next day, she was gone. I haven't seen her since.
Oh, I was not expecting to get a serious response to that. Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye out for her.
Thank you. Tell her I miss her, and I'm worried about her. Tell her to come home.
Steeltown could defend us from the gangs if they wanted to. If.
Hey, and look at that.
Hey, Rangers! Boxes were finally delivered. We got enough goat now to keep us fed for weeks. Thanks for making this happen. Looks like meat's back on the menu, folks.
Nice.
You hungry?
Sure, yeah. What do you got?
Goat everything, friends. Take your pick.
Goat horn stew. Ooh, a mean cup of chili. I have never been one to turn down a decent cup of chili. You know what? I will take your entire stock. Alright, folks. I feel like that is a nice feel-good moment to end things on. We ran a bit longer than I originally planned, but I'm glad to end on a high note.
Hear some pretty fancy war bots come out of there.
Not the most exciting episode, but I feel like we still accomplished a fair amount. We met a lot of characters, we gathered a big chunk of useful intel, and we're set up to descend into the factory floor next time round. Though I do think we want to pay another quick visit to Markham and chat up those sales reps. Anyway, some parting thoughts. Let's do a bit of speculation. I missed out on that last time because I was just too overwhelmed by the sheer volume of references they were throwing at us. Based on what we saw today, I think what we're looking at is like a Machine Commune 2.0 situation. There's a lot of red herrings, but Di was pretty straightforward about how she is both a former disassembly bot who once specialized in disabling or disassembling free-willed robots, and B, also the lead engineer that created the calculation engine, the main core of all the problems that are currently going on. And I don't think the calculation engine is bugging out or going crazy or making irrational decisions. I think it's very deliberately hiring the people it's hiring and making the recommendations it's making to perpetuate this cycle of violence and essentially cripple Steeltown's defenses as a massive threat is approaching its gates. I think it's either trying to get itself destroyed or it's trying to liberate itself. And then everything else is essentially either a red herring or a byproduct of that central core event. There's a lot of possibilities there, some altruistic and some less so. But I guess we'll keep digging at that. Anyway, we will hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time as we continue this fascinating tale of post-apocalyptic industry and machine intelligence. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Wasteland 3, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
Look, if we don't have any more business, I've got work to do.